Feelings like I never lost you, and feelings like I never really had you. Here in my arms, come on, let's hit the climax. Feelings, you know the song, man.
Back in the house. What's up, Brian? Long time no see.
By hook or crook, to get more aware of themselves and where they came from and what they are into and what is already there, just to bring it out. This is what compels me to compel them, and I will do it by whatever means necessary.
Nothing more than feelings. Trying to forget my feelings of love. Teardrops.
This is a tape by my friend Jonathan Marquez called Nothing More Than Feelings. Collection of beats and samples available on iTunes. It's a vibe. It's a vibe. I like to listen to this, just kind of zone out, right? All just kind of instrumental samples and stuff like that. His name is Jonathan Marquez, better known as Jose Rose. Good looking motherfucker too. If you ever saw him, fucking handsome as fuck. Pisses me off that we're the same species. Gen Matt, Jonathan Marquez, Jonathon Marquez. It is available on iTunes. Called Nothing More Than Feelings, a collection of beats and samples by Mr. Jonathan Marquez, a friend of mine from Los Angeles. It's a vibe. Just vibe out for a second. What up, Doobie Wah?
I'm pleased to meet you. I want you to know what I think. I think you're the most wonderful singer in the whole world.
I'll play a couple more of these. There's one that I want to play called The Interview with James Brown. It's hilarious.
That isn't all. Because also you're so beautiful.
vibe. It's a whole vibe. Skip this next one.
Nothing that you want that you don't have right now.
This one is called Charles Bukowski on Being Alone.
You don't want to sail, but
Missing now is more privacy than I'd like. I would like to be alone more than I am. Like the phone rings too often. There's too many cameras and all that, and I kind of accept it, but it's not me. When these things are gone, I go back to the room and I become myself again. Oftentimes, I'll pull down all the shades like I used to, just lay down in the room for 5 or 6 hours just alone. Just lay in that bed and get something back, some kind of juice. Just being away from people is one of the most marvelous fulfillments a man like me can have.
All right, this next one's called An Interview with James Brown. I love this one. So funny. The reaction of the interviewer at the very end of the song is just classic. I love that shit. Oh man, I make love good. Oh, she had no comeback. She had no comeback for that one. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Might be a quick one.
In the summer, lighting up, she's smoking trees. Only daughter of a man she hasn't seen, and there's no real one emotion she
and make love good.
She needs first.
Brian Joel, this Herbie Hancock. No, it's a friend of mine called Jonathan Marquez. Put all these beats together.
Staying the night here by yourself, Lord of mercy.
Lord of mercy.
Cause all the guys they go
welcome.
To hell. Taking your phone, she'll hope to moan and then put back on your shelf. But fuck it, she's crazy and I love it and I
want her myself.
Saying it's hard with your day, with you now. You open the door and your man walked out. He said he got tired of the games you play. Never give it some thought, but I get you stay. Feeling some ground with the feet, with the ball. Got your ear to the phone, but your man won't call.
Streamlabs still on vacation? What the fuck? I turned it back on. I turned it off and on.
I'm on my way, I'm on my way.
Wait.
I'm on my way. Stuck in your apartment.
Shout out to Steel Fawn, returning home. My island. Ireland. Out there for his sister's wedding. Newpo. What's up, Newpo? Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy.
Thinking you own them. Call his bluff, he rolled the dice. But let him be gone, how long you hear the song? Take toss that you're mad. Just putting to me low key, I may want the
Girl, when you're bad.
Same was hard, but today what you know. You open the door and the man walked out. He said he got tired of the games you play. Never give it some thought.
Love this song, man. I got so lucky. Think about how many songs are out there in this world. My friend wrote the perfect song. He never even knew when he wrote this song. He even said in the interview. I remember he even said in the interview, he was like, it wasn't my favorite song, you know? I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know, you know, just kind of put it out there, you know? Little did he know that he was writing the perfect theme song for my show. Shout out to Steel Fawn. We know this guy. He makes great music. So shout out to Steel Fawn. Shout out to my man Jonathan Marquez. Not only is Jonathan Marquez an actor and a male model, he's also an entrepreneur and a musician. Jonathan Marquez, a collection of beats and samples, nothing more than feelings, available on iTunes. Likewise, Steel Fawn's music is also available on iTunes. It just blows my mind every time I hear that goddamn song that I'm just like, all the songs in this world that I had to choose from. I mean, really, obviously I couldn't have chosen a Radiohead song. My shit would have been shut down immediately. But all the songs out there that I had thought about. The other song that I had picked was the acoustic version of Everyday People by Arrested Development, which I do throw in the mix every now and then. But out of all the songs that I could have chosen, or beats, or, you know, anything really, I just, that song, that On My Way song, just I could not get it off my mind. And then the first time I ever played it on the stream, I was just like, it's perfect. It's perfect for me. You know, it's perfect for the show. It's perfect for me. It's a vibe. It's uplifting. It's poppy. Perfect way to start the day. And it just blows my mind every time I hear that damn song. I'm just like, man, I got so lucky. I got so lucky in not only knowing Steel Fawn as a friend and a human being, but the fact that he makes this music and that he was willing to let me use this song. We own a part of that song. I got so lucky with it, and it just blows my mind every time. Like, fate steps in sometimes, you know, especially I talk about fate all the time. You know, fate steps into my life all the time, and things just line up perfectly. And that was one of those moments where I needed a song. You know, I actually was trying to use that song on the other channel, in between me and the other morning guy, Mia. After Mia's show, I was going to do a segue and do a musical segue and then start my broadcast. And I never did. Good thing I didn't, because then it would kind of become more synonymous with that other channel, and it wouldn't have been able to really transfer over, you know? So good thing I waited. I never pitched that idea to the powers that be, and I saved it for myself. Let me look at this chat right quick. Let me say good morning, good afternoon, Cassie, Mitchell, Wayne, Dr. GTI, Jen Matt. Good morning, San Diego. San Diego stands for, it means a whale's penis. Or whale's, the whale's vagina or whale's penis? I forget. Brian Joel, what's up? Good to see you back, Brian Joel. How was Cedar Point? Happy Friday. I forgot it's Friday. It is Power Hour as well. What's up, Mitchell Wayne? Doobie Wah 420. Friday. It's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got shit to do. Now, I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. Brian Joel says, is this Herbie Hancock? Jonathan Marquez kind of sounds like a little, it might have been a Herbie Hancock sample, because it's just a bunch of samples. Dr. GTI said, we need some of this Mr. Marquez music on vinyl. I'm trying to reach out to him. He's a busy dude. Not only does he have a job, not only does he model and act, make music, but he also is starting his own line of wine, and he's actually the the spokesmodel of this line of rosé called Jose Rosé, and he plays this character Jose Rosé, which he works on in the background. Nick Magnuson, shout out to Nick Magnuson, has a new video up on his channel. Don't forget to check out Nick's new video. I haven't watched it yet, but it has to deal with airport food, which anything food I'm interested in. But I am interested in this topic because I never really know where to eat in the airports. You know, when you get to the airport and you have that time to walk around, you walk around and you look at all the places, you look at your options. You know, for me, the number one option is, do they serve beer? Is there seating? Because a lot of the times, like, I'll fly out of LAX a lot. LAX, there's never any seating. It's so hard to find a seat. And there's nothing worse than going to an airport and sitting down and trying to eat or get a drink, and then they tell you there's a fucking wait. You know what I'm saying? That'll be just me. Just one, sir. Okay, the wait's going to be 45 minutes. Great. Because I have to be at my gate in a half hour, and I just want a shot and a beer and another shot and a beer. Nothing's worse than that goddamn wait at the airport. Dr. GTI, I just wanted to get a shout out to Dr. GTI. Is the reason I got this awesome shirt right here, my Gizmo shirt. Let's see if you can get the full effect. Do not feed Gizmo after midnight. Old school Gizmo. Shout out to my cat. Shout out to Mr. Mo. Let's see. I got a picture of him right here. Mr. Mo! I can't really see it that well, but that's him. Beautiful kitty. I miss him so much. Nufo's in the house. What's up, Nufo? Happy anniversary. Thank you. Way. You missed one. There's Guey. Way. That's the Spanish version of On My Way. T-shirt reminds me of my grandma's cat when I was a teenager, who was a little long-haired Siamese looking thing, named after the movie. Gizmo, it turns out Gizmo is a pretty popular name for pets in general, but cats as well. I didn't name him that. I probably would have named him something else, you know. But, you know, he already had the name for 6 months, and I didn't feel like changing his name, so I kept it. But I probably would have came up with something a little bit more original, you know. I like to name things. I love naming things. I name everybody's pet. I name my own pets. I name my sister. I named my little sister. Everybody had there was a contest. Not a contest, but during the, what is it? Is it a shower? Baby shower. During the baby shower, when my stepmom was pregnant with my little sister, Jolene, not Ayla. I didn't name her. Ayla is named after the main character of Clan of the Cave Bear. Her dad was a big fan of the book, Clan of the Cave Bear, and in the movie, Daryl Hannah plays this cave woman named Ayla. And so my sister is named after a cave woman. And she eats like one. But Jolene, there was a baby shower, and one of the side quests of the baby shower was everybody would write what they think the name should be, because my parents hadn't decided on a name. Write what you think the kid's name should be, put it in a bucket, and everybody's and afterwards, at the end of the day, she would read them all. And a lot of them were jokey. You know, a lot of people were like, make a joke of it. Our last name is White, so a lot of people were like, Snow White, Dwight White. There was a lot of like white jokes and stuff like that. But I put some thought into it, and I love naming things. Like when I write stories and screenplays, I love naming the characters. I love finding that poppy ass name that's gonna get you, because a lot is in a name, So I love naming things. And so I thought about it, what should this girl's name be? I share the same name as my father, so our names are JW. I'm the third. So I was like, okay, can I figure out a J name for my sister to be? And thought of Jolene. Loved Jolene. Thought about it and wrote it down on the piece of paper. When all the names were read at the end of the day, that one stuck out. I remember my stepmom was like, Jolene White. Actually, pretty good fucking name. And I was like, yeah, that's mine. And it just stuck from that moment on. And then we were calling the bump Jolene. And then by the time she was born, it was just like Jolene. So yeah, I love naming shit. It's a beautiful 81 and sunny, low humidity here in southern Illinois. It has been humid as fuck out here. Super humid. It was so humid. Yesterday, I'll give you a taste. Yesterday was one of the hottest days so far of the year. It was in the mid to upper 80s. And then right when the sun was blaring, about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, sun's beating down on everybody. It's nice and warm. Everybody's outside in the courtyard at the hotel over here, enjoying the sunshine, sitting on the patio, sitting on the veranda, having beers. We got a bunch of NASCAR people staying over here. And they brought 30 racks and 24 packs. They were just sitting out there because apparently, if you go to a hotel, you could drink anywhere on the premises and nobody's going to fucking trip out about you. So, nope. To anybody out there who wants to do some public drinking, grab a 24 pack, go to your closest hotel, and just set up shop. Nobody's going to say shit. So all these NASCAR dudes and dudettes are out there drinking, and then all of a sudden, typical fucking Portland, boom, rainstorm just starts. Big drops of water on everybody's head. Really, literally, like rained on their parade. But yeah, 80 degrees and raining with big ass raindrops. Mitchell Wayne says, on my way, better on the west side. Always. Everything's better on the west side. Brian Joel says, amazing time at the Cedar Point. Got burnt, though. It hurts. What is your scale of burnt? Is it, like a light tan, like an English muffin toasted on a number 3 setting? Or is it Old Raven Farm in the sun? That's the spectrum right there. There's a lightly toasted English muffin or Old Raven Farm, who got redder than I've ever seen any human being before. Some like Jose needs an NFT. Yeah, for real. I gotta talk to that man. We haven't been in contact since I left LA, so it's been about a year and a half since I talked to him. I actually never even told him that I was going to use his music, but I'm sure he's not tripping off it. Cassie says, sounds like the weather here in Iowa, 80 degrees. Warm enough for me. Apparently no food makes an appearance in this video, but it's an interesting news item. Oh, okay. Well, don't forget to check out Nick Magson's channel. The video link is not only in the promote each other section of the Discord, but you could go directly to Nick Magson's channel and watch it from there. And look at his other videos as well. Hit the like, hit the thumbs up, comments, the algorithm. The algorithm. You gotta appease the algorithm gods, I got a couple dogs. I'll say you. Dags. Got some dags. I like dags. Show some pics of the garden in the Discord. Dubiwa. Wise man once said, if you go to bed with itchy burn, you wake up with smelly finger. I was doing weird names like a paint horse that didn't get any spots named Spot. A black cat named Snowball. I like that. A black cat named Snowball. And then I named Tiger. Tiger's cute, though. I like that name for a cat, Tiger. Because if you imagine, if you're a cat, what better name to be called than Tiger? You know what I'm saying? You're a little tiny kitten, and then all of a sudden somebody's calling you Tiger, and it's got to make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk around like, yeah, my name's Tiger. Yeah, F you, Snowball. Let's see. What's a phone? What's a phone? What's this? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, in 10 to 20 years, no one will ever use this pantomime again. This is going to be dead. Enjoy it while it lasts. You can be like, yeah, so I called the guy, and I was talking on the phone, and then he said, and then it's going to be dead. Nobody's going to know what this is. People are going to be like, why is he doing hang loose to his face? Because this is going to be a phone. The new generation, the millennials, and whoever's after the millennials, when they pantomime a phone, they're going to go like this. Be like, yeah, so I called him, and I was talking to him, just a flat hand. When are we gonna have a beer, bruh? Shit. Where are you from anyway, Nufo? Can I go get a beer with you? I'm down. I'm actually gonna do some. I gotta go shopping. I gotta get some beers. It's been too long. I haven't had like a home beer in a long time. I work at my bar, so I can't drink there. And so was telling my girlfriend, like, I'm fiending. I want to have some beers, not just one or two. I want to have like 7 beers. So maybe we'll have a drinking show sometime next week. I got the day off on Monday. Maybe we'll do a drinking show on Monday, and I'll start early. I was using Discord only on my laptop for like a year. Once I got it on my phone, I realized how awesome Discord is. A lot of people are like that. I would say 90% of the people that I talk to who get on Discord hate it the first day. Hate Discord. I'm one of them. The first time I signed up for Discord on the last channel, Bulldog basically was like, all right, you got to learn how to use Discord. We use Discord for everything. Download Discord. I remember I downloaded Discord, went on one time, and never went back. And then a few weeks later, he was like, all right, so, just go on Discord. Did you do the Discord thing? And I was like, man, I tried, dude. I tried. I can't mess with it. He was like, well, you literally need to use it because that's how we're doing the audio. And he basically forced me into learning Discord. Once I figured it out, though, I was like, oh, my God, Discord is the tool of all tools. I love it. I named my cat Dog. Cat Dog fucked her up. I named my cat Karen. I like that. Like, Karen, stop meowing, Karen. I thought that was a hang loose. Oh, well, I'm on the phone. The new generation ain't gonna know what this is. They're gonna be like, what? Why? Why are you talking to your pinky? Talking to your palm? They don't even use their phone like phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was the way people use phones. Now this is the way they use phones. They go like this. You know what I'm saying? They look into their phone. Everybody FaceTimes now. So the next generation is going to be like, so I was talking to him, I was sitting there talking to him, Speaking of airports, there was this one time I was taking a flight, and I flew out of Oakland, and it was in the middle of the night, like really late flight. This was actually right before 9/11. Right before 9/11. It was 1999. I was visiting my mom. And I had to fly into Arizona, Sky Harbor, and then Sky Harbor to Tucson, whatever the airport is. It's kind of a long story, and it has no point, but bear with me. So, and I also flew with a bag of weed in my pocket. I had an eighth of chronic in my pocket, but back then you didn't have to empty your pockets. So I was like, well, it ain't metal. Rolled the weed up in a bag and stuck it in my pocket. And then when it came time to go to the metal detectors, you would take your change and keys out of your pocket, but you could leave other soft items in there. So I left the bag of weed in my pocket. No harm, no foul. Went through the airport with a hip flask of like some cognac, not like a good one, not like Hennessy, but it was like E&J cognac or some shit, like one of those little bottles that fit right in your back pocket. Had that in my pocket, put it through the conveyor belt and everything, Got out the other side, didn't have to take your shoes off or anything. Pull the bottle out, put it in my back pocket. Go over to the terminal. This is in Oakland. And at the terminal, I'm looking for a place. I found a bar, sat down at the bar in 1999, right? So things were cheaper. Nowadays, you try to get a beer at the airport, the beer is probably going to run you about $9. Easily, $9 a beer, Sit down at the bar in Oakland, and the beers were $5.50. A pint was like $5, or you could upgrade to a bigger one, like the tall schooners, big-ass glass, for $5.50. And the girl was like, oh, do you want a bigger one? It's only 50 cents more. I was like, yes, I'll take a bigger one. And then she proceeds to tell me, we have a special right now. If you add a shot, it's just $1 more. Add a shot for $1 more. Like, where can you get away with this, right? So I have a big ass beer for $5.50. I add a shot for $1. Like, it's unbelievable to think about now. When I replay this event in my mind, I'm like, how did they get away with selling me a big ass beer and a shot for $6.50? So, in the way I drink beer, like whenever I order a beer, that first beer goes down quick, man. I'll down half the beer. Immediately down half the beer, take that shot, down the rest of the beer, order another round. And, I got starting to get a little bit of buzz on, and now I'm sipping on the next beer, take the shot, and I'm just sipping on the next beer, looking at my watch, and I'm like, all right, I got a little bit. I'll get one more round. Okay, so one more big ass beer and a shot, and finish that up and go to my gate. Go to the gate. My plane is delayed by an hour. Where do you think I go? Go right back to the bar, sit right back down. She's like, oh, that was a quick flight. I was like, oh, the flight got delayed. So obviously, let's go. Another round. Get another beer. Get another shot. All right. So now I'm 8 drinks in, and then I have to go head back to the gate. All right. Well, I can't beat this price. And I got, I got this whole flight thing, I might as well get drunk and just be on the plane drunk, right? Order another round. Get the other round. Now I'm 10 drinks in. Straight up, 10 drinks in. I get on the plane and I am fucking drunk. Drunk, not blacked out drunk, but I am definitely like completely inebriated. Like if somebody talked to me, I would be slurring my words. I was having a hard time moving around. I get on the plane. Turns out it's a full plane. I'm sitting in the middle. I'm in the middle of 2 people, drunk as hell. And right away, it's like a recipe for disaster. I sit in my seat. I'm way bigger. I'm bigger than everybody else. I'm trying to fit in this seat. And I'm like, okay, all I got to do is put my headphones on, put on my CD, because this is before iPods. I had a CD player. All I got to do, put on the CD, put on my headphones, and just vibe out for the next couple hours and just be drunk. And hopefully I don't have to go to take a piss, Hopefully I don't have to use the bathroom. If I do, hopefully it's just one time. Hopefully I don't crack the seal and have to go back and forth, because that's gonna be really embarrassing and uncomfortable for everybody around me. So I'm just like, let's just put on some music and just pretend that I don't have to go to the bathroom. Sit down and press play on the disc, man. And I think I was listening to some like Wu-Tang or something at the time. That's what we listened to. Sit down, and as soon as I hit play on my disc, man, I get that battery flashing thing. Battery's dead. It's okay. I planned for this. I had batteries in my backpack. Go in my backpack, pull out the batteries, open the pack up. I drop a battery. And now I have to try to somehow with my arms together like that, try to somehow get in there and find the battery in my feet. It hit the ground and rolled. So I know it's like either behind me. So I'm just like, okay, what do I do? Do I ask the person behind me if they could see the battery, on their end? Do I keep looking around? The more I start to dig around, I start to stress out. Now I start getting hot. Now I'm in the middle of the seat. I'm 10 drinks in. I'm hot. I'm uncomfortable. My Discman's not working. Like everything started to go wrong for me. And now I have to go to the bathroom. And the plane hasn't even taken off yet. And I'm already going through the fucking biggest drama of all time. Luckily, I just swallowed my pride. After the plane took off, I swallowed my pride. I got up to use the bathroom. On my way down to the bathroom, back from the bathroom, I looked around for my battery. I found the battery on the floor, sat down, and it was okay. I was able to just be drunk. And then I had the whole hip flask. I never even touched it. I never had to. Got off the plane 2 hours later. Got off the plane to see my mom. Still drunk as a skunk. It was terrible. Got there and just roasted a big ass joint. My mom got mad at me for flying with weed. Like, how can you fly with weed? How do you know? I was like, well, you live in Tucson. I know you don't have weed in Tucson. Nothing grows in Tucson except a saguaro cactus. Anyways, that's my airplane story. I drink too much. That's the whole point of the story. That's where you got it from. Karen down. The Karen the Cougar from Talladega Nights. Brian Joel says O'Hare was charging $22 to $28 for a beer. What? $22 to $28 a beer. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do in that situation. I think personally, I don't think I could spend $22, $28 for a beer. The last time I spent like $15 for a beer at an NFL game. And I was pissed. And I only had one beer. Because I was like, I'm not going to spend $30 on 2 beers. I'm not doing it. So the person who I came with was like, you're not going to drink? You're not going to drink? And I was like, I refuse to pay another $15 for a tall can of beer. I'm not going to do it. And so that person bought me a beer. It was just like, dude, well, I'm not going to drink alone. I'm going to buy you a beer. Fine. You could buy me a beer. But I'm not going to spend $15 on a fucking tall can of Bud Light. The D-grade will pack his own ice chest. Dr. GTI, you got a story of Oakland Airport and weed, man. Funny thing is, I didn't finish all the weed. And when I arrived back home in LAX, or when I got to LAX, or was it? Oh, no, this is a completely different story. I'm messing stories up. I flew with weed again. And in LAX, to exit the airport, there's like 2 escalators that you exit down to the baggage claim in LAX. You have to go down these 2 escalators if you fly Southwest. These 2 escalators, and sitting right there in the middle of the 2 escalators, a fucking cop with a canine dog. And I could see him from a mile away. And there's nowhere else for me to go at this point. And I'm just like, fuck! I gotta walk by this fucking canine, this German Shepherd, who's just sitting there looking at everybody, smelling everybody's pockets. I'm like, I gotta walk right by this German Shepherd with a fucking eighth of weed in my pocket. I can smell it from here. I can smell it. So I know the dog can smell it. And I was just like, you know what? A dude once told me, this story once about how he got into the front row of Wimbledon. Him and a friend went through, like, they had some tickets up in the nosebleeds or something like that. And they went down to the bar, got some drinks. And the guy basically said, you know, there's empty seats over there. Let's just sit in those seats until somebody kicks us out. And the friend he was with was like, no, we can't do that. We don't have tickets. And I remember him telling this story. He said, let's just walk with a purpose. And I remember he looked at me. He was like, walk with a purpose, young man. You walk with a purpose, you'll get anywhere you need to go in life. And so I remember those words came back to me. Walk with a purpose. Walk by that dog like you don't have any weed. And I walked right by the dog. I didn't pay it no mind. I was cool as a cucumber. Walked right by the dog. Dog didn't do shit. You know, dog was probably sniffing for bombs or some shit. Weed cheaper than cigarettes. Happy days. It's crazy, right? That's why, I mean, these vape pens, man, these are the things of the future right here. Like, for real. A pack of cigarettes is like $9.85 for a pack of Newports. For what? You know? A pack of cigarettes, if you're a real smoker, is going to last you, what? 2 days? 3 days at the most? This shit will last you a good week. Maybe even a week and a half, 2 weeks if you hit it right. Cigarettes are dead, man. You know? I think the only people who are still smoking cigarettes are people who are like truly addicted to smoking cigarettes, you know? God bless you guys. I was there. It was New York Airports posted the article in the Discord. All right, I'll check that out. That's insane. Oh, so I was going to talk about Top Gun. No spoilers. Not much to spoil. Anybody seen Top Gun Maverick yet? Anybody? So when I first started talking about Top Gun Maverick, I started talking about Top Gun Maverick about 2 months ago. First of all, this movie has been sitting on the back burner for a minute. They've been done with this movie for probably almost a year now. But because of COVID, they weren't going to put the movie out because they were like, we need people to go see this movie in the theater. And I know why. Because this is not a movie that is meant to go directly to HBO Max. This is not an Amazon Prime movie. This is a movie theater masterpiece. It is a cinematic masterpiece. Look. This ain't no Citizen Kane. You know, it ain't no Casablanca over here. You know what I'm saying? But I have this system where I grade movies. And there's some movies that aren't the Citizen Kane. You know, they aren't the Academy Awards darling, but they're perfect in every way. I know some shitty movies that are just perfect for what they are. You know, there's some stoner comedies that I watch and I'm just like, that movie is perfect. It's perfect. Think about like the movie Grandma's Boy. Grandma's Boy. Stupid movie. Really stupid movie. But it's perfect for what it is. And by perfect, I mean you don't add anything to it. You don't take anything away from it. It's perfect as it is. It's perfect for its genre in every way. Top Gun is one of those movies. If you want that movie that you go to the movie, you go to the theater, you watch a movie, it's loud, it's spectacular, it has a little bit of everything. It's got some humor, it's got some romance, it's got some action, it's got some drama. It's got it all. It is the perfect movie for a movie theater. And it's the perfect movie to get people back into the movies again, you know? We know that the attendance hasn't been through the roof like it used to be. You know, I remember when I saw Jurassic Park, showing my age here. I saw Jurassic Park in the movie theater, lines around the block. Remember lines around the block? I saw Independence Day on July 4th. Lines around the block. Men in Black, lines around the block. The Lord of the Rings when it first came on, lines around the block. Harry Potter, line around the block. You know, all these movies, the theaters were packed, shoulder to shoulder. There was no empty seats. No empty seats in the front row. That's when you know it's a blockbuster. It's been a while. You know, people are still hesitant to go to these theaters. But this is the type of movie that'll get people back. It is perfect as a theater goers type of movie. The last really great epic theater movie that I saw was Avengers Endgame. You know, to me that just had everything. You know, it just had everything going for it. It was fast paced. It just goes. It has moment after moment after moment. You know, it just doesn't stop coming at you. That's what Top Gun was like for me. And you gotta realize, Dr. GTI, we cuss here, please. Don't not cuss. You know, don't apologize for cussing. You should be cussing more. So a little history. I'm a newbie when it comes to Top Gun. You guys might know this, that I barely saw the first Top Gun maybe like a month and a half ago at the most. So I'm new in the Top Gun lore, you know? So it's not like a movie that I've been like, Top Gun Maverick is not a movie I've been waiting 36 years for, you know? It's all kind of new to me. I resisted seeing the first Top Gun for so long. The thing that really made me watch Top Gun Maverick, or Top Gun, the original, more recently was because of the words of Adam Aaron. Adam Aaron, of course, being the CEO of AMC. We all are AMC apes. We've been following the AMC saga. Adam Aaron had said it's hands down the greatest film he's ever seen in the theater. That piqued my interest because we know Adam Aaron, double A. We know him as a guy that doesn't really bullshit. He doesn't really blow smoke up our asses, you know? So when he said that, I was like, okay, well, you know, this guy, I've always felt like he's an honest dude, you know? He's not trying to gas it up or anything like that. Like, he could have said that about any movie. You know what I'm saying? He could have been like, hey, you guys got to go to the theater and see Venom Let There Be Carnage. Just the best movie ever. Not the best movie ever. Terrible. So it piqued my interest. And then I was like, okay, well, you know, if it's so good, if it's this great, you know, maybe I should give the original a chance. And my best friend Pete loves this movie. My other buddy Darren loves it. They would quote the lines. I talked to other people, you know, it's my stepmom's favorite movie. Everybody I talk to, I'm like, oh, I've never seen the original Top Gun. People are like, what? You've never seen the original Top Gun? Come on, man. Like, how can you have not seen that movie? You love movies, you know? And I was always thinking, well, yeah, I love movies. That's why I haven't seen Top Gun, because it's garbage, right? No. The original Top Gun, I did a whole show about Top Gun. I loved it. Immediately. Within like 15 minutes, I was like, oh, shit. I went my whole life without watching this movie. I went my whole life judging this movie for something that it wasn't. It was just a good movie. Like, why did I hate on it? I hated on it without ever seeing it. So my bad on that, you know? Saw original Top Gun, loved it. Then I was like, well, shit, I'm super horny for the next Top Gun. Like, I can't wait for it to come out. So, you know, it just came out last week or so. Took a couple days, you know, on our day off. We all saw it together. Ayla hadn't seen it either. Ayla hadn't seen the first Top Gun either. So we waited for her to see it. And me, Brittany, and Ayla, we all went together to go see Top Gun. Along with my little sister and my stepmom, who it's my stepmom's favorite movie. We all went to see it. And I was blown away. I didn't expect it to be that good because I'm not really into jets and fighter pilots and shit like that. I've never been into it. But I will say that Top Gun Maverick is in the rare category of films, sequels that are better than the original. So if you like the original, I could assure you, and I don't think I'm going to get much pushback here, that Top Gun 2, Top Gun Maverick, it's better than the original. Now you can't. I know some people will fight me and say like, "Oh, Top Gun is iconic." It was as a movie, the first Top Gun, good. It started the whole Top Gun thing. But if you put them side to side, I don't think there's a question. You know, first Top Gun was good. Top Gun Maverick, way better than the first one. There's more of everything. There's more action. There's more humor. Maybe less romance. Maybe there's a little bit less of the because Top Gun, you know, there was a heavy on the romance throughout the whole movie. It gives all the respect to the first movie. There's a lot of stuff in the first movie they bring back. A lot of your favorite characters come back. I'm not ruining anything here. But yeah, I gotta say, after and the old Top Gun is fresh in my mind, so I could really compare them, and I could say that Top Gun Maverick is in that rare category where the sequel is better than the first one. There's only a few movies out there. I could say I think Godfather 2 is better than the first Godfather. And I think even people would argue with me on that, could admit that Godfather 2 is at least as good as the first one, if not better. I think that it's a no-brainer that Terminator 2 is better than the first Terminator. Two different movies, two different budgets, but I think anybody who's seen both can be honest and say, yes, Terminator 2, way better than the first Terminator. Here's one that's very debatable, especially in Star Wars circles, but I think a lot of like true Star Wars heads will say Empire Strikes Back, best film of the franchise. Out of all 9 movies and 3 other movies, the 3 off-brand movies, Empire Strikes Back, the second one, better than the first one. And I will put Top Gun in that category of sequels that are as good, if not better, and in this case, better than the original. Hey, talk amongst yourselves. Let's see. Have I seen Days of Thunder? I have not seen Days of Thunder. If they come up with a sequel to that and Adam Aaron says it's the best movie he's ever seen, maybe I'll see it. I'm not a big Tom Cruise guy. There's something about him. There's something about his face I'm not a big fan of, you know? Yeah, I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan. I'll eventually get around to watching it, you know, maybe it'll take me 38 years. There's a lot of Tom Cruise movies I haven't seen that I need to give a shot just because I think he looks dickish, you know, shouldn't stop me from seeing the movie. I'm learning now that I judged Tom Cruise unfairly. And I will say, as dickish as I think Tom Cruise is, he did something at the start of Top Gun Maverick that is really rare. And I got to give him props for this. As much as I don't really like the guy or think I don't like the guy, he introed the movie. When you see it on the big screen, Tom Cruise is the first person you see. Maybe that's his ego. But Tom Cruise is the first person you see, and he introduces you to the movie and thanks you for coming to the movie and kind of just gives you a little talk before the movie comes on. I gotta say, kind of respected that. It's not something you see very often where a star will cut a little promo and say like, yo, thank you for sitting down and watching this movie. We put a lot of work into it. I'm really proud of it. And, you know, thanking you as the audience member for sitting in that seat. Gotta say, I was kind of a fan of that. I gotta admit it. I wouldn't mind seeing more of that, you know? So, the movie with that cold trickle dude and John C. Reilly. Now, I like Talladega Nights. If Days of Thunder is anything like Talladega Nights. Oh, John C. Reilly was in Days of Thunder? Really? Dr. GTI says, right, have you seen the new, whoa, hubba. Whoa. My girlfriend just walked into the kitchen, fully clothed. She's wearing too much clothing. Not. Dr. GTI says, right, have you seen the new series about the Lakers with John C. Reilly? We're definitely going to start watching that over here. I watched like part of the first episode and I was like, yo, this is going to be good. I'll wait for Brittany. Brian Joel says, yeah, Tom is a bag for sure. What kind of bag? Douchebag? Mitchell Wayne says, what the fuck? Watch Days of Thunder in IMAX. 10 times better. How do you see it in IMAX? Unless they re-release it. Like I said, I'm learning a lesson. I've been humbled by Top Gun because I judged it wrong. For years, I've been saying, I don't want to see Top Gun. You know, Tom Cruise is a douchebag. It shouldn't stop me from seeing a good movie. And there's other actors in it. You know what I'm saying? Most notably, Val Kilmer. Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick yet, do me a favor. Not only do you have to watch the first Top Gun to understand what's going on and get all the little nuance, but for added pleasure, and it'll make it'll make the movie more impactful. Watch the documentary Val on Amazon Prime. The documentary, it's called Val, V-A-L. V-A-L. Val. It's all about Val Kilmer. It's on Amazon Prime. It is inspiring, yet also heartbreaking. If you didn't know, Val Kilmer has been suffering from throat cancer. And there's a whole documentary about his struggles with that. But also, it's about creativity and artistic expression and acting. And it's also, excuse me as I pick my nose with my thumb, it's also about his career. You know, and it goes through all the movies that he's done in his career. And the basic gist of the movie is that in 1982 or 1983, Val Kilmer bought a video cassette recorder, a handheld video machine tapey thing, a camcorder. Thank you. And he just filmed everything. He filmed his co-stars. He filmed set. He filmed himself in the mirror doing lines. He'd face the camera at himself and do different, like audition for other parts. There's footage of him auditioning for Henry Hill, Ray Liotta's part in Goodfellas. Shout out to Ray Liotta, R.I.P. God bless Ray Liotta, one of the best to ever do it. 67 is really young. But yeah, there's footage of him doing auditions for Ray Liotta's part in Goodfellas, Batman, a lot of other like famous roles that he auditioned for. And you also learn about him as an actor. He's a really good actor. Like, he's super, like, one of the youngest people to ever be accepted into Juilliard. And he really, really took the craft seriously. He's not just another pretty face. You know, I always thought he was just a pretty boy. No, he's much more than that. So if you see that documentary before you see the new Top Gun, it's going to be even more impactful. Which, is that a word? It's funny watching Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder to see how much Talladega Nights is mocking it. Doobie Wah says, be right back. Gotta watch this horse race. Are you at the horse races? Or are you doing off track? Let me know. I want to know. If the theory is true that Snowpiercer is the second Willy Wonka, then I could say the sequel is better. I watched a YouTube video about that, and I really am. I haven't seen Snowpiercer yet, but I am anxious to watch it and kind of compare the two because I love Willy Wonka. I like The Last Samurai too. Last Samurai is one of those scripts that they give you when you're in film writing class because it's a really well written script. But I don't know. I just never really got down with it. Hey, what's up, Chango? Changuito. Val is fantastic. What's up, man? That's my buddy right there. What's up, Chango? Nice to see you. Wife and I just finished the Lakers series last night, Nick. 100% agree. It was awesome. Val was great as Jim Morrison. Okay, so a lot of the times when I think of Jim Morrison, in my mind, I'm not even picturing the real guy. I picture Val Kilmer playing Jim Morrison. I don't know if he won any awards for that, but I will say Val Kilmer became Jim Morrison in that movie. It was literally one of the greatest on-screen performances you will ever see is Val Kilmer as Jim Morrison in The Doors. Really, really mind-blowing how in detail he got to play Jim Morrison. It's really just a work of art. Video machine tapey thing. Chango says Val's son narrated, which is also funny because Val Kilmer's son sounds exactly like a young Val Kilmer. Like exactly the way they talk, like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Because Val Kilmer can't really talk. He talk like that because he talks through a tube now. Val Kilmer's son narrates the movie as if he is Val Kilmer, and it's just a work of art. It's a thing of beauty. I definitely think you should see that before seeing Top Gun Maverick because then it'll cue you into some of the things that happen in the movie and why it is. Because not to ruin it for you, but Iceman's in it. And, he doesn't say much. Let's just say that. Mitchell Wayne says Ghost Dog is better. I love Ghost Dog. I'm glad you brought up Ghost Dog, Mitchell Wayne. I love Ghost Dog. I'll tell you something about Ghost Dog. Way underrated. That movie is way underrated. Because people say, oh, it's a movie. Forrest Whitaker plays a samurai named Ghost Dog. And everybody just assumes that it's going to be a B flick, right? Not a B flick. Ghost Dog, yeah, sure. Forrest Whitaker is kind of like a modern day samurai, but it's also about the exchange of ideas and information about how people, how we pick up things from other people, whether it's the way they talk or the stories they tell. And the subplot of the movie is people handing books. One person gives another person a book. That person gives another person a book. And then that book is passed around. And these different books are passed around until it gets back, it goes from an older person to a younger person. It's about the passing of knowledge and how we interact with each other in society. Ghost Dog. Way underrated movie also by the director Jim Jarmusch, who is one of the greatest directors that you don't know. Because he's such an artist, people can't get down with his movies because they're just like, what is this movie about? I can't stand this movie. But if you're a lover of the cinema, you could really appreciate a movie by Jim Jarmusch, who's just phenomenal director. I'm watching on Twin Spires, and of course sorry, Doobie Wah. What's up, Chongo? It's my buddy David right there. Val and Elizabeth Shue and the Saint. The Saint! They brought up the Saint while we were in Val, and I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, have you ever seen the Saint? The answer was no, of course. That's definitely one of the next movies we got to watch. The Saint is so freaking good. The Saint should have been, first of all, The Saint should have been a bigger movie. It should have been more popular. And should have been a sequel. They should have sequeled the fuck out of that. That should have been a trilogy. Had to go to therapy to get rid of the Morrison character. He even moved to New Mexico because of it. He had to go to therapy to get rid of the Jim Morrison character. That's crazy. D-Grade says chocolate is underrated. Way underrated. Way underrated, D-Grade. I know so many people who like kung fu movies who have not heard of Chocolate, let alone see it. It is so freaking good. And the girl in it is like the action star for the next decade, the next millennium. She is so freaking awesome and so talented. I remember when you told me about it, I was like, Chocolate, for real? A kung fu movie called Chocolate? And I watched it, mind blown. You know what she reminds me of? The new Jackie Chan. She's the new Jackie Chan. And at the very end of the movie, they do all the outtakes, and you see like what torture she put her body through to make that film. She's getting kicked in the head, falling down. There's people fucking breaking their necks left and right. It's insane. If you guys can watch that movie, it's called Chocolate. It's a Korean film, I believe. Fucking awesome. Brian Joel says, Ghost Dog, what West and I first bonded over. Yeah, Brian Joel. I remember. I talked about Ghost Dog on the other channel. Saw a YouTube video that talked about how Val's son was the voice you heard during Iceman scenes in Maverick. Interesting. Ladies love the Saint. D-Grade says, not only can she fight, but she could also act. Killer action movie. Killer action movie. If you guys can see it. It's called Chocolate. It came out a few years ago, I think in the mid-2000s. Way underrated movie. Way underrated action movie. Way underrated martial arts movie. If you like martial arts movies, action movies, you got to check it out. Yeah, it's definitely a decent flick. So yeah, those were my thoughts on Top Gun Maverick. Like I said, even if you're not into the whole Top Gun lore, I'm a new booty to the whole Top Gun thing, and I wasn't. We applauded. There was like 12 people in the theater, and we just applauded. We couldn't help it. There were multiple scenes where I wanted to just break out in applause. There was multiple times where I wanted to jump up and just be like, yeah, fuck, it was just like exhilarating type of movie. I will say this. Miles Teller, the kid from the drum movie. What's the drum movie called? Whiplash. Miles Teller. I thought he was like a nerdy kid, because he was in that Whiplash movie and he was a drummer, and I don't know, you kind of look at him and he just kind of looks like a dorky kind of nerdy guy, kind of has that kind of Jew fro. I didn't know this, but he's like a fucking heartthrob. Did anybody know this? Like, the girls were swooning over him. And I get it. I mean, the dude's like ripped. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got like a body that's like starting to put Ryan Gosling's body to shame. And you know how I feel about Ryan Gosling. Okay? But I didn't know that it was like common knowledge amongst females that Miles Teller is like a hunk, a stud. I didn't know that. But when we got to the movies, first of all, like I had to keep a handkerchief and I had to keep dabbing my girlfriend's bottom lip because she was just drooling the whole time over Miles Teller. Yes, you were. My sister Ayla was like, immediately afterwards, she's like, I want a poster of Miles Teller in my bedroom. My sister's in her 30s. She's going to be 31. And she wants a poster of Miles Teller in her bedroom like a teeny bopper. Okay? I didn't know this. And like when you go online and read about Miles Teller, like women swooning over Miles Teller. I didn't know that he was like this generation's like hunk, I didn't know. I thought he was just like a nerdy kind of dweeby guy, like to me, I put Miles Teller in the same category as Shia LaDouche or Shia LaBeouf or whatever. I thought he was like one of those guys. Huh? I like him too. No. Oh, no. Not cool. She likes Shia LaBeouf too. Not a hunk, you know? So I thought he was just like a nerdy guy who was like a really good actor, but you don't find him attractive. I guess I don't find him attractive, you know? I guess I'm more of a Ryan Gosling guy, you know? I guess I like my standards of beauty are different. Okay. But yeah, so all the girls that we went with were just like freaking out over Miles Teller, you know, and his like mustache and shit. I don't know. I still thought like, yeah, okay, his body's pretty solid. You know what I'm saying? You know, he's probably like a 6.5, you know, 7. No, to these girls, he's a 10, 11. Who knew? Heat and Point Blank are the best Val Kilmer movies. Heat all the way. Another movie where they were talking about it on documentary. I was like, Brittany, have you ever seen Heat? No, of course. How can you not see Heat? Heat. Al Pacino, De Niro, Val Kilmer, the guy from the insurance commercials. Are you in good hands? Danny Trejo. Hey, Danny Trejo. I was in Heat. Right? He was in it. Yeah. Yeah, Heat. Amazing movie. Point Blank? You haven't seen Point... No, Brian Joel, you're playing with us. I know you've seen Point Blank. You have to have seen Point Blank. Gary Busey's in it. He's like, hey, man, I've been doing this job since you were itching your daddy's pants. I bet I could put a link in the Discord so people can watch it. Good job, D-Grade. We should do that because it's free. I think you could watch Chocolate for free on something called Tubi. I think so. Totally want to check it out. I've seen the first one, but wasn't a huge fan of Maverick. Me neither. You know, I was just like a bunch of, you know, macho fucking assholes playing volleyball on the beach. Fighter pilot fucking macho alpha male fucking dicks. No, it's got more to give than that. It was just the goggles that I wear that I look at society in wouldn't allow me to appreciate Top Gun for what it was. And now I can appreciate it. And after seeing the second one, it's going to be one of those things like, I'll extol the virtues of Top Gun Maverick and Top Gun all the way. They better not make a sequel to that shit, though. I do not want to see a third Top Gun. I do not want to see it. All right. You leave well enough alone. You did it. So shout out to Double A Adam Aaron, CEO of AMC. He did not lie. He's not blowing smoke up our asses. He did not oversell the fact that Top Gun Maverick is one of the greatest movies he's ever seen in the theater. I could co-sign on that shit. It is one of the greatest films I've ever seen in the theater. I can't imagine other than seeing like one of the Star Wars movies when it first came out. Like I said, Independence Day on July 4th. Maybe if you saw like Rocky in the theater, you know, that would be probably an amazing movie to see in the theater. A little bit before my time. But Top Gun Maverick, it gets one of these. Top Gun Maverick, you get one of these. That's a thumbs up, baby. That's a thumbs up. Collect them all, Top Gun Maverick. I don't think I've ever given a thumbs up out to an inanimate object, but there you go. Weak chin. Don't get it. Sorry, got Swayze mixed up with him on Point Break. Oh, yeah. Don't mix up Swayze with Val Kilmer. Two totally different people. Now, Swayze. That's a man that I'm very attracted to. Let's talk about men that I'm attracted to. Ryan Gosling, Patrick Swayze. I can do a whole show about men that I'm attracted to. All right? And I can say... Somebody's going to take this clip and just cut it and just take it way out of context. Patrick Swayze, the Tai Chi scene by the lake in Roadhouse. I mean, come on. You know, if you're a lady, you got a lady boner from that. Very attractive man. That's so West. Did you get the Top Gun Maverick print at the theater? No, the theater that I go to is like really low budget, like really low budget. I'm surprised they even had seats at this point. Weak chin, don't get it. You talking about Shia LaBeouf or Miles Teller with the weak chin? Both of them. I just don't get it. They don't fit my standards of masculinity, but whatever. I guess I have no chance with West Side then. D-Grad, you got the traditional standards of male masculinity that I'm looking for. Okay, big fucking beard, man. All right, that's a man to me. All right, I'll curl up in that cabin with you. I just watched Top Secret with young Val Kilmer a couple weeks ago with my dad, from the creators of Airplane. Same type of movie. Enjoyed it, but not as good as Airplane, but good. A little bit more musical than Airplane, but the jokes hit. I was telling my girlfriend, I've seen Top Gun, like as a kid. I probably saw Top Gun like 20 or 40 times because I had the VHS cassette, and it was just, I just watched it. It was like one of those movies that was like subversive enough that I felt like it was kind of dirty. There were some scenes that were dirty, but I was a kid, so I was allowed. My parents allowed me to watch this movie with like sex jokes and stuff like that. So yeah, I loved Top Secret when I was a kid. Absolutely loved it. Point Break. Yeah, Dr. GTI. Point Break, not Point Blank. No, I really dig Top Secret. I love that the French guy is called Latrine. Latrine. I love that shit. Brad Pitt and his man bun in the Sandra Bullock movie. I find Brad Pitt very attractive. Very attractive to Brad Pitt. Yeah. I think he's got a great look. I like Brad Pitt even more now as an older dude. I was just watching Moneyball the other day. And the whole time, I was just looking at him. I was like, this is a fucking good looking guy. This is a good looking guy. And he's aging beautifully. He's not, he's not doing any work. He's not getting lifted or tucked back or anything like that. He's just letting the wrinkles show, and I'm proud of him because he still has a good look, man. Great look. I'd look, even at his age, I'd still sleep with him, Men I'm attracted to. Men I'm attracted to. Miles Teller with the weak chin. Okay. Jay Leno chin game strong. Yeah, you got to have a Jay Leno style chin for me to get into it. Repo Man. Oh, I'm into some Repo Man. I'm a big fan of Emilio Estevez for two reasons. First of all, he kept the name Estevez. Estevez. Okay. While his dad and his brother chose Sheen. Winning. Duh. While they chose Sheen, Emilio said, I'm sticking with Emilio Estevez. Okay? I like that. And I love Emilio's choices. Loved them in Young Guns. Liked them in Young Guns 2. Loved them in Young Guns 1. He also is a writer and director and a creative type of guy. And I really respect that. A lot of people didn't like his movie called Wisdom, which he wrote and directed when he was like right after Breakfast Club. He was still a kid and he writes and directs his own movie. I got a lot of respect for Emilio and the Breakfast Club. Let's face it. Not going to do the longest show. I'm probably not going to do a 2-hour show. Maximum Overdrive, loved it. Free Jack, way underrated Emilio Estevez movie. Judgment Night, Judgment Night's a little Judgment Night is one of those movies I put in the category of okay movie, great soundtrack. Great soundtrack. The soundtrack is actually better than the movie when it comes to Judgment Night. Men at Work. Men at Work. B-flick. Total B-flick 80s comedy. Terrible, terrible. But Judgment Night. If you guys know anything about the Judgment Night soundtrack, way better than the movie. That happens every now and then too. You know how we were talking about sequels better than the original? Every now and then you get a soundtrack that's way better than the original movie. St. Elmo's Fire. Soundtrack, fire. Movie, I'm all right. I'm all right. Judgment Night soundtrack. Still to this day, I play that soundtrack. Another body murdered. It's got Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam mashups. Dinosaur Jr. and Del the Funky Homo Sapien do a song together. Onyx and Biohazard. The House of Pain does a song with shit, I forgot. Anyways, Judgment Night soundtrack, way better than the movie. Chongo says, yes, Judgment Night soundtrack, right? West Side, you tried some weed vapes? Man, I've been out of weed for hella days. A lot of you know my struggles with the money. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, which appeared in the form of a direct deposit today. You know, I've been jumping from job to job and doing all this kind of stuff. Got my new job. Literally right behind me is my job. Courtyard Marriott. Got my first real paycheck last night, and I can truly say they hooked the brother up. All right? And so now we got the money rolling in. You know, as much as I love smoking weed, I can't spend money on weed when I have other things to buy, like food and rent and utilities and phone bill. I can't. When I was younger, I'd put weed at the top and I'd be like, well, fuck it, I'm just not going to eat this week. No. Nowadays, weed is a complete luxury. But we're back, baby. I'm probably going to go to the weed shop on sometime this week. Get my hair cut. Go down to the weed shop. Pick up a couple bags. Pick up a couple vape cartridges. And we'll be back in business. Westside Weed Smoke will once again be weed smoking. Safety meeting time. I would, but because I do have a couple hits in the vape, but I got to go back to work because I work in the morning and then I go back at night and wait tables at night. Not as bad as it seems. Trust me. I just kind of kick back and run food. It's all good, man. I'll get paid to stand around. Yesterday, I got paid to watch the Warrior game. Literally. They paid me an hourly wage to sit around and watch the Warrior game. Cool. I'll take it. My feet hurt, though. My feet hurt. Watch out for the wet grass. That's my commute, man. The toughest part of my commute is walking around the wet grass. Sometimes I think about walking through it, and I'm like, nah, I'll take the extra 15 seconds and walk around. And then of course, it turns my commute from a minute 10 to a minute 25, a minute 35. But that's okay. You know, I could be a couple seconds late. I Love You, Mary Jane, the Cypress Hill and Sonic Youth. Yes, I Love You, Mary Jane. Awesome soundtrack. That came out with me and, to date ourselves here, that came out with me and Chongo were in high school. And that was like the type of shit we were bumping in high school. I remember. Me and Chongo were the only ones who listened to rock. Everybody else listened to rap at the time. It was all Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, which I listened to too. But I also like rock. And David, me and Chongo, we bonded over the rock music. Because all the other people in our friends group, because we hung around the Cholos. And so when you hung around the Cholos, you couldn't. Nowadays, it's different. Cholos listen to rock openly. But back then, you couldn't openly listen to rock if you were a Cholo, you know? You had to just wear your wife beater and your creased jeans and play handball and talk about rap music, you know? Nowadays, you see the Cholos walking around and they're rocking the Converse and Metallica shirts and shit, you know? But it was different back then. So me and David, after school, we'd go to his house and we'd listen to we'd listen to Stone Temple Pilots and shit, you know, Smashing Pumpkins, and nobody else listened to that shit at the time. Now all those Cholos that we went to school with who were clowning on us for liking rock music, now they listen to rock music. They're like, oh, remember when this came out? Yeah, I remember when it came out. You hated that shit. Fuck you. Brian Joel still working, getting paid to watch West Gang Gang. Yeah, get paid to watch me. Get paid. Nick says, technically, I'm getting paid to watch and listen to this live stream right now. Get paid, man. Get paid. You need some Skechers, man. That's what we wore back then. We used to wear Skechers. Getting paid. Dr. GTI is getting paid. You guys are getting paid. Getting paid to kick back with Westside. Right on, man. Good job, guys. Make that money. Money gang, gang, gang. Speaking of which, what's up with the stock market? This is a portion of the show we'd like to call West Investments. Talk about a couple investments here. Damn, do you see that after hours candle on AMC? After hours candle on AMC. A 1 minute candle hit a high of 13.39 and a low of 12.33. $1.06 swing in one candle. 12.33 to 13.39 in one candle. AMC after hours. Look at that. Wicked all the way up to 13.39. AMC closing after hours down to 12.41 right now. Closed at 12.45. High of the day 13.06. Low of the day 12.19. Redbox down 3.6% on the day. Closing at 6.39. Hit a high of 7.07 today. Low of 6.03. Redbox still on the map. What else we got? Highcroft Mining, HYMC. Low of the day 131, high 142. Currently at 132, HYMC. BTTX, my little darling right there. High of 178, low of 167 today. BTTX looking to fire the turbines back up. I think that's going to be kicking into overdrive next week. One that I've been following, Soundhound. Soundhound closing at 794, hit a high of 828 today, low of 769. Amazon stock split. Is that gonna happen? Is that happening? Let's see. As far as the decliners and advancers, almost double. 4,792 decliners, 2,734 advancers today. So pretty much a red day in the stock market. Hopefully it wasn't red for you guys. Let's see. Most active stocks, of course, AMD moving up the list. 108.2 million shares traded, closing at $106.30. EFOI, Energy Focused Inc. Keep your eyes on the energy stocks, man. I'm telling you, especially IMPP, Imperial Petrol, going to be firing up. I think this week is going to be a good week for IMPP. EFOI, 48% gains today. Closing at 165, had a low of 129, a high of 183. Imagine that. You bought 100 shares at 129 and it hit 183 and you just sold right there. You would have made, I don't know, an amount of money. Don't make me do the math. Mullen Automotive, closing at 127, third most active stock. Apple, fourth most active stock, 145.38. And Exela back on the map. XELA, Exela back on the map here. Saw that shoot up today. Hit 23 cents in the pre-market. A low of 21 cents during the trading day. That was a portion of the show we'd like to call West Vestments. Oh, yeah. What was up with Amazon? D-grade. Oh, yeah. D-grade's working. If these damn horses don't cooperate, I might only get partially drunk tonight. Not sure what that means, Doobie Wah. Oh, the horses, the ponies. You got to say the ponies when you're talking about horse racing. Nick Magnuson says, getting paid to be here. Gang, gang. Mitch Wayne, you're off today. Good for you, man. Enjoy that day off. Oh, Chongo, you work from home. Nice. Cassie says, if I sell something while watching, I'll be getting paid to watch too. My favorite thing is waking up and finding a sale, so I got paid for sleeping. Gotta love that. When I used to sell shit on eBay, nothing was better than waking up in the morning and seeing that you made a bunch of sales, you know, except for the fact you got to go to the post office. But I loved waking up to those sales and be like, shit, I just made $75 while I slept, baby. Did go to the office as AM long enough to do a lap around the floor, Dr. GTI says. Dr. GTI says, crazy Tesla news recently. Return to work for a minimum of 40 hours per week or else. Today announced Tesla needs to cut workforce by 10%. Ooh, shit. Chongo says, every day is a good day with dollar cost averaging. Yeah, I like the way you're talking, buddy. I like that. Doobie Wah says, everyone pray for a 6-5 finish. Come on, number 6. Come on, number 6. You're just going the exacta 6'5"? I love the trifectas, personally, me. Come on, 6. Come on, 6. Win, play, show, baby. So let's see. Let's look up Tesla right quick. See what's up with Tesla in the market. Tesla hit a low of $700.25 today. Whoa. Tesla was hitting like, what, $650 like last week? I wish I would have jumped in on that. So Tesla also a one wick right here. 700. Tesla went from 702 to 752 in 1 wick. And then right back down to 701 in the after hours right now. TSLA, Tesla. What's up with Amazon? Amazon.com. Man, another crazy wick on that one too. 2,441 to 2,497 in 1 wick. Amazon is doing a stock split. Let's see. From Webull, Amazon will perform a 20-for-1 forward split on Monday, June 6th. Oh, shit. That's happening soon. What do you think? What are you guys thinking? You think it's time to buy a little Amazon after that split? I don't know. I've always wanted a piece of that pie. Why not? 20-for-1. So what does that mean? What's the math on that? It's going to be like, what, $100 a share? Right? Dr. GTI likes the show. You like going to the show? We need to hit the track in GTA. Oh, Brian Joel. That's where I made all my money. In San Andreas, that's where I made all my money. Playing the ponies. Not so much in GTA 5. I do play the blackjack in GTA 5. I also cheat. Like, I'll bet a big ass hand. Like, I'll bet like $1 million, and if I lose, I'll just reset the game. D-Grade's still happy about his credit score. Good job, buddy. Credit score moving up. Dr. GTI says, also, Alameda County just put back in a mask mandate. Tesla located in Fremont. Oh, okay. I did not know Alameda County was doing the mask mandate again. Huh. Freaks me out. I don't want to catch that shit. I already caught it once. I don't need it again. But I don't know. I've been around a lot of situations where, a lot of public situations, and I think me having it before, I think I have those antibodies. Knock on wood. Hopefully it's not like famous last words. But yeah, that's interesting to know. Thank you, Dr. GTI. My man out there in Livermore. So before I go, I'll talk about guns. We were talking about guns. Look at these guns, baby. Yeah. It looks better from this side. Look at that. I've been working out my triceps because I heard somebody say once, like, if you work out your triceps, they'll get bigger than your biceps because the triceps don't get a lot of work. So there we go. This is the gun show. I was going to talk about guns a little bit. I know it's a sensitive subject, but so this is a bit that I was thinking of called How We Need to Handle Gun Violence. All right, here we go. In the news today, in a small town in Texas, Uvalde County, Texas, there was a mass shooting which took the lives of 21 people. From reports on the scene, it shows that the shooter had a very tiny penis. Most active shooters and shooters do have tiny penises. They suffer from tiny penis syndrome. We were here with our resident psychologist, Dr. Bob Bootydoo. Dr. Bootydoo, what causes most of these active shooters and shooter situations?
Well, it seems like most people who have to take a gun and shoot other people actually have this problem. It's seen most of the time. The medical examiners, we look at the bodies and we find out that most of the shooters suffer from micropenis or microphallus syndrome. It comes from having basically living life with such a useless dinger in between your legs. You would feel the same way if you walked around with such a useless tool as a penis. It's pretty much only used to urinate, and even then you can't aim very well. It's very common amongst most shooters. The shooters from Columbine actually had a microphalia. The shooter in Virginia had the same thing. The guy who shot the people in Las Vegas, very, 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 very tiny penis. It was almost the medical examiners, we couldn't even see if he had a penis or not. It just seemed like a patch of fur. We actually thought it was a second belly button, and not an innie. It looked like and not an outie. It looked like an innie belly button. That's how small his penis was. And this shooter follows the trend of other shooters. A very, very tiny penis. He had a very, very tiny penis. We actually wonder if there was any use for it whatsoever. It turns out that this is a very, very common thing. So, the number one signs to see if somebody has a propensity to shoot up a school or a public place is to definitely check their penis size first. If it's negative inches, there's more likely than not that he's going to shoot up a school or small children or innocent people. Also, social media posting and also buying very big rifles for no reason is also a sign of having a microphalia. Very tiny penis syndrome is the technical term for it. My name is Dr. Bob Bootydoo, and these are my thoughts on the situation.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. Thank you very much, Dr. Bob. In other news, we're going to go to our man over there, Al Roker, with weather, traffic, and shootings. Al, how's the weather and traffic look out there? Weather is great out here in Portland. It's probably a balmy 75 degrees, a little bit moist outside, a little bit humid. Traffic on the I-5 seems okay, and it seems like we got a couple shootings here. One shooting at Robinson Junior High. It seems like the active shooter is still on the premises. Classes will still presume. Look, we can't shut down a school every time there's a shooter. I mean, come on, students would never get to class. In other news, it looks like we have another shooting here on the campus of Portland University. It looks like the death toll is under 10, so it's not that serious. We have a couple other shootings around the state. I think we have about 5 currently happening in Portland, in the greater Portland metropolitan area. California seems to have about 15 shootings happening right now. But, once the death toll gets above 10, then it'll. But as always, we can always issue thoughts and prayers to everybody involved in any of these situations. And back to you, Mr. Westside in the newsroom. Yes, back to me in the newsroom. Dr. Bob Bootydoo. You're not fooling anyone, Dr. Fauci. The one thing I could offer you is maybe a therapy shock. You take the shock in the water and the shock eats you and takes you off the fucking planet. So yeah, that was the way. This is just in my sick imagination, not making a joke and not making light of shooting situations, but maybe, just maybe, we need to start handling these shootings a little bit different the way they report on the shootings. I say, immediately, as soon as somebody has a shooting, as soon as they're a shooting, immediately start talking about the person's penis and how small it is and how useless it is and how we could sympathize with the shooter because, we don't know what that feels like to have such a useless dinger in between your legs. I think if we start really, really talking about it, because look, all these shooters want their fame and glory and their infamy. But if we start reporting on these and the next shooter is like, well, shit, I'm not going to shoot up a school. I want to shoot up a school because my dinger is so useless and small, but I don't want them talking about that on the news. I really think that we're going to get somewhere. I know, it seems like I'm making light, but come on. I really think that we could kind of solve this here. Just start talking about the useless dinger between their legs. And I think we'll see some of these shootings taper off. I think we will. Because they want to bring sorrow and misery to the world. They want this. But what they don't want to be remembered as, and no one wants to be remembered as, having a useless dinger in between your legs. So, that's just my thoughts on the situation. I'm not going to talk about gun control laws, anything like that, or why an 18-year-old needs to buy 2 AR-15s, or why the fucking dude in Las Vegas. First of all, the dude in Las Vegas shot 55 people from the top of a hotel room. He brought like 20 AR-15s into the room, had 5,000 rounds of ammo and bombs set up. They never talked about that shit again. That story went away so fast. Like literally the Will Smith slapping Chris Rock story stayed in the news longer than the Las Vegas shooter. And that was a big deal. What was this guy doing? How did those events, take place? How did it lead up to that? He wasn't a student. He wasn't a white supremacist as far as we know. What the fuck was going on there? Never talked about the story again. Never talked about it again. Makes me kind of wonder. Chongo says, please make a clip of this. I was actually going to do a whole production of it and do a one-off video. So I think I might still do that. I'm going to write it out and wear a suit and make it look like an actual news broadcast. And that was just a preview. That was just some thoughts on my mind that I didn't want to sit around with anymore. Oh shit. Apache helicopter flying low. Hey, come on. The hard deck is 4,000 feet. Chongo says, you'll be fine, bro. Kind of worried about someone in my family at the moment. The home test said negative, but hearing them cough sounds like they can't breathe. Hey, shit. When I had it, I thought I was going to die. Seriously. Can you animate a cartoon of this clip? I think, like I said, Dr. GTI, I had a more well-written out version. That was just kind of me freestyling that. But I do want to do a one-off video where I do a little news broadcast and talk about the shooter's immensely tiny dinger, immensely useless dong that he had. I can't even call it a dong. I had to put an I in there. It was a ding. It's not a dong. It's a ding. Most men, we walk around with a dong or a ding dong. He had a ding. It was a dinger. Reminds me of someone I dated once. I was taller than him and he had a bad temper. It's all about the manhood. It's all about the manhood. Why else do you need a man-killing rifle with thousands and thousands of rounds? Brian Joel says we need to show pics of the dead kids. Nobody understands till they see the pics. Well, props to some of the parents who said that they're going to have open caskets because they want the media. It worked for what's his name? Who am I thinking of? Emmett Till. One of the things that really sparked off a lot of people recognizing civil rights and the violence towards African Americans, Black Americans in this country. African Americans are people who are from Africa who came here. Black Americans, violence toward Black Americans in this country. One of the things that kind of set off and showed the world what was really going on was the fact that Emmett Till's mother decided to bury Emmett Till with an open casket. And if you don't know anything about Emmett Till was a kid who was tortured and beaten for allegedly winking at a white woman. She had told people that she was raped, I believed. Maybe I'm getting the story wrong and don't quote me on this. But basically she had told people that she was raped by this kid, Emmett Till, and he was tortured and beaten and killed. Turns out years later, she recanted her story and said that the event never happened. And this is the type of thing that used to get Black people killed and still does in this country. Let's face it. But the fact that Emmett Till's mother decided to bury Emmett Till with an open casket and the media was there to take pictures of how badly beaten and tortured his body was, it really opened a lot of people's eyes who didn't really understand the level of violence that had been going on. And so I know that a lot of the parents of the students in Uvalde said that they were going to have open caskets for their children and invite the media in so people could see the level of violence that was inflicted on their kids. And props to them, because it's not an easy decision to make. And I don't know exactly if that is still happening or if it did happen. I didn't pick up on it yet. But that's one way where we're going to start to combat this problem. I know I'm getting fucking serious. It is a comedy show, goddammit. Make us laugh. But every now and then I talk about issues and, I talk about current events and, this happened a week ago, and not only did it happen a week ago, but it happened a couple days later and a couple days later. And, just like the traffic and weather and school shooting updates, this is how commonplace it is in society, is that, we kind of take it for granted that it's happening all the time. And we don't really pay attention unless the body count is over 10 or 11, and it really, oh shit, how many people, there was a school shooting, how many people died? 4? That's not really a shooting. Let me know when 15 people die. Then I'll take notice. Then I'll give them thoughts and prayers. 4 people, they don't deserve my thoughts and prayers. It's too little of a number. We need to bump those figures up. That's what we call Westlife suggestions. Responsible gun owner. I'm with you, West. I'm so embarrassed that I have it hidden under my bed. I have my pistol. I have my shotgun, and that's enough. Really, if somebody ever tried to come to my door, all I need to do is sit behind the door and go, that's enough to repel anybody. I don't even need to ever fire my gun, When you're 18 years old, they don't, think about this. You can barely go, think about the things you can purchase when you're 18. You know what I'm saying? Cigarettes, you could see porn. You can't even rent a car most of the time until you're 25. You can't drink until you're 21. But a man-killing, high-powered rifle, you just don't need it at 18. You just don't. Your brain's not there yet. Your brain's not there until you're 25. And even then, your brain's not there. If you're crazy, you're crazy, It baffles my mind that warning flares weren't going up. And the thing is, a lot of these shooters lately, they were posting on social media pictures of them and their guns, cryptic posts saying that, I'll show them, they're going to see, I got something in store. We got to see these warning signs quicker and act on them. I think the past couple shootings that had happened, people had said, we knew something was wrong. We knew something was wrong with this kid. Everybody knew there was something wrong with this kid, but people aren't acting on this. Or if they are passing the information on to law enforcement isn't acting on this. And look, I could get into this all day. We know about law enforcement's reaction to this Uvalde shooting. It wasn't very good, I'm thankful that we have police, because we can't just police ourselves, and there's serious crime in the street, but there has to be a mentality of people who do serve in law enforcement where there's going to be times where you put yourself in harm's way and it's for the greater good. And I'm not asking anybody to be a sacrificial lamb here, but there has to be a point where heroism has to be part of your duty. Not just writing tickets, not just harassing people on the street, but there has to be a part of you that doesn't just want to inflict violence on innocent people, but you have to want to step up and be a hero in times that are necessary. And this is one of those times where it was necessary for some police officers to step up and be a hero. Now, that's not a knock on the police department or police in any way, because my cousin's a police officer and he's a fucking heroic officer. He really is. There's a story of him pulling people out of a fire and getting burnt and all kinds of shit. I could go into it. But that's another conversation for another day. Andrew Dice Clay, come back. Oh, hickory dickory dock. Some chick was sucking my cock. Oh, okay. There's your Andrew Dice Clay right there. Those are good questions regarding these mass shootings. Thank you, Chongo. I used to think they were okay to go to the shooting range, but I don't know anymore. I do think that 18 is too young. Can't even smoke or drink at that age. Yeah, exactly. I don't even think you could buy weed, right? You can't buy weed until you're 21, Let them be able to buy weed first. Let kids be able to buy weed before a gun. Because if they're going through some shit, let them be able to smoke some weed first, because that might solve the problem. If you're feeling like an outcast, if you're feeling, if there's something trapped in your head and it can't get out, let them smoke a joint first and see if that doesn't cure the problem. Because I guarantee you, most of these kids, if they're going through some shit, let them smoke some weed and they might work that shit out on their own, They just might work it out on their own, get in their own head and let that shit out, But like I said, Ray Rice, nobody cared till the video. Exactly. And really, nobody still cares. Ray Rice is in the Hall of Fame. He's on commercials. He's on a show on CBS right now where it's like Celebrity Survivor. Nobody cares about what Ray Rice did. Oh, wait. I'm thinking of the other Ray. The other Baltimore Raven who was beating his wife. I don't know. Most of the Ravens beat their wife. What do you think about Chi-Town's weekend count? How bad is it? I mean, Chi-Town's fucking people murdering each other all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's commonplace. You know, it's commonplace for people to murder each other. Yet they call Native Americans savages. Look, you can't mass shoot someone with a bow and arrow. All right. Shout out to the Native Americans out there. You guys had it right. Man, I tried to mass shoot all these people, but I can only get 3, and my arm got tired. Even a 48-hour period before you can get them, that might have helped the one at the doctor office. Look, there should be waiting periods, especially for a younger person. 18 years old, you should have to wait a little bit, like 3 or 4 years. One problem with law enforcement, they actually can't do anything until a crime has been committed. True. But I mean, you could watch numerous videos where people are like, what am I being pulled over for? Officer, why am I being pulled over? Officer, why am I being You know what I'm saying? Like on suspicion of something, they're getting tased and shot and beaten and pulled out of their car. So from the looks of it, and it's a bad look, police officers have no problem inflicting violence on innocent citizens, you know, just because they don't like their attitude or whatever it is, or dare I say skin color, demographics. Yeah, it sucks. Just can't start locking up people for saying crazy shit. But, you know, I mean, we got to figure out a way where we could use people's social media posts. I mean, look, I've done some pretty fucking wild social media posts. But if I was saying things like I'm going to inflict violence on other people, you know, maybe people should take notice of that, you know. But there's a lot of problems to fix. And I don't think we can fix them all here in this little show of ours, you know. Have you seen Dice on Showtime? It's a great show about him. Oh yeah, I've seen that show, Brian Joel. I actually do like that show. I saw part of the first season. I haven't finished watching it yet, but I do like that show. Chongo said there's protocols with military and police situations, following orders. The one calling the shots failed, and it's a domino effect. Chain of command, you know. Unfortunate, but, you know, like I said, there's a lot of problems. It's not just one problem. It's not just the shooter. That's one problem. Reaction by law enforcement, that's another problem. Parenting, that's another problem. How society reports these things, that's another problem. There's multiple problems, and we need them all solved at the same time. It's not going to happen. It's going to be one problem. We're going to solve them all eventually. You know, this has been going on for a long time. You know, ever since there was guns, there's been mass shootings. It's just now we have the media and social media, and we could see these things and know them in real time. They're constantly happening, you know. But mass murder is not a new thing, you know. Human beings are violent, barbaric fucking people. Men, I'll put men in that. Not so much women. Women are the caring, loving light of this universe. It's just the war, the warring mind of a man. We just like to fucking go out and kill shit and hunt shit, you know. Like I said, there's still people out there who are killing elephants for fun, for sport. I'm going to kill this elephant. Fuck it. Just kill it. Oh, why? Why did you kill the elephant? Why did you kill the lion? I wanted to take a picture with a dead lion. What? What is that? What is that so wrong? What? I have a useless dinger in between my legs. I needed to kill an elephant. What? Sue me. All right? I'm Jimmy John. Buy my sandwiches. So yeah, Chongo, so many problems. We can't solve them all. We could talk about them. And not be afraid to talk about them, you know, and make it common to talk about these problems. And maybe one day we could start chiseling at the problem, you know. It's like I always use the ice sculpture as a metaphor. You know, you don't just You don't just take the tiny hammer and chisel and make an ice sculpture. You take a chainsaw first, and you got to knock off the big parts, and then you get in there and fine tune the shit. You know, and there's big problems that we need to solve before we start really detailing what the big problem is. You know, Ray Lewis, thank you, Dr. GTI. Ray Lewis, the other Ray that beats his wife. He's a superstar. Hall of Famer. Everybody loves him. It's fine. Used to be able to have crazy people committed, but we don't have the capacity anymore. You can't even call crazy people crazy anymore. That's how far gone we are. You know, can't call him crazy. Can't be like, oh, he's crazy. People be like, oh, don't say crazy. That's not cool. No, crazy's crazy. Like Chris Rock said, you crazy motherfucker. Motherfucker crazy. When are you gonna start up your Twitch? You know what? Like I said, Dr. GTI was nice enough to gift me a piece of equipment here that I'm going to start using this next week when I stream, and it's going to start solving some of my problems, and I'm going to be able to do a lot more on the stream. This was the missing piece. The last piece we have is to we're going to change our internet provider. And once that happens, infinity and beyond. By the way, that new Buzz Lightyear movie, I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's kind of overkill. Did we need a Buzz Lightyear movie? I'd rather see a Woody movie. You know? I'd rather see a Woody movie. People just need to touch grass more. Exactly. Ground yourself. Go down to the river. Touch some water. All right? You're feeling like you want to kill a church full of people? Try smoking a joint by the river. That might just solve your problems, you know? I remember back when Columbine happened, I was out feeding the FFA livestock when my best friend's grandma came to make sure we were okay. Then we had school doors locked up. Yeah, I remember when Columbine first happened. And at the time, we thought, like, I think when Columbine first happened, we never thought it would get out of control. When Columbine first happened, it seemed like eyes were on the situation. And it felt like the world was reacting, and because I remember when it happened, I was still a fairly young man. I was like, oh, shit, you know, like, fuck, that was terrible that happened, but that'll never happen again. You know, the powers that be will take care of this problem because nobody wants to go through this again. Nobody wants to experience this again. Nobody wants to relive this, and we don't want this kind of situation being prevalent in society. When it first happened, I was just like, yeah, well, at least it happened this one time, and it'll probably never happen again. And then, you know, 30 some odd years later, it's still a fucking problem. And I don't know, I just kind of was like, we're numb to it now. But when it first happened, when Columbine first happened, I was just like, holy shit, I can't believe it, you know? And I really thought that the problem was going to be solved back then. It's gotten worse, you know, much, much worse. Exactly, Daygrade. Getting laid, that always makes me feel better. The problem is if you suffer from microphalia, microphallus, tiny penis syndrome, which a lot of these shooters have, it's very hard to get laid. It's very hard to get laid. It's very hard. Dr. GTI, yep, that part. Talking about the problem is the first step, and also a step in the right direction to healing. That's why we talk about hard to talk about things on this show. We talk about mental health. We talk about shootings now, unfortunately. This is the first time I've ever had to really talk about the subject, delve into the subject. And we'll probably talk about it more. Like I said, I'm going to make that video. I just wanted to give you guys, those are my thoughts, and I didn't want to like not get it out of my head. But I am going to make a video, more polished video, about the microphalia, the tiny penis syndrome, a tiny dinger. Shooter had a tiny dinger. But on that note, we talked about guns, man. We talked about gun laws, gun violence. We talked about Top Gun. We talked about these guns, baby. And it's been about a 2-hour show. I have to go back to work in 3 hours. So I'm going to go hang out with my girlfriend, take a little nap, and rest a little bit before my next shift. I didn't talk about the Warriors. Warriors got their asses kicked last night by the Celtics. Did not see that coming. They got their asses handed to them in the fourth quarter. Hopefully they bounce back from that, but it was not good to see. They did not look good last night in the fourth quarter. But yeah, we'll talk about that. I'll be back on Monday. I got the day off on Monday, so we'll talk a little and we'll hang out and do the same thing like we always do. Let's cue that song up, baby. Show the guns. Dr. GTI says, show the guns. Kind of fat, but just guns, baby, guns. Yeah, and Streamlabs. I reset Streamlabs and turned the bot back on. Obviously, that did nothing, so I gotta figure that problem out. What the fuck, man? Have a good one, brother. Thank you, Nick Magnuson. Go check out Nick Magnuson's channel. He's got some more videos, new video up. And if you're thinking about traveling, watch some of his videos before you travel. You're going to learn something, okay? You're going to learn how to be a better traveler, all right? Talking about a seasoned traveler right here, all right? You got a question about traveling? Ask that man, Nick Magnuson. He's got some tips. Like I was saying, the 10 tips for stress-free travel. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about travel. I learned a lot about myself. All right, so have a good weekend, everybody. I'm going to cue the song up. You know what song I'm talking about. Shout out to my man Steel Fawn out there in Ireland for his sister's wedding. Man, I hope you're going to stay safe, and I know you're going to bring the love and positivity, because that man brings love and positivity everywhere he goes. Thanks for joining me today. Chongo, thank you for joining us. Chongo, I think it's first time joining us on the stream. Give a round of applause to my man right there. Hopefully he's going to be a rider. Streamlabs Vacation Gang. Yeah, I think he took, I think ever since Memorial Day, Streamlabs took the week off. What the fuck, man? What am I paying you for, bro? If you can, go outside, get that good sunshine on your skin, get that good air in your lungs, go down to the river, man, touch some water, get grounded. Call someone you haven't called in a long time. It feels so good. Don't forget to call your grandparents. They're not going to be around forever. Hate to break it to you. Spoiler alert. But grandparents don't last forever. Call them up, man. They're going to love it. Trust me. And keep that positivity rolling day and night, 24/7. I'll see you guys back here on Monday, Tuesday, and hopefully I'll get a couple more streams in this next week. And earlier in the show, you listened to my man Jonathan Marquez. Nothing More Than Feelings. Collection of beats and samples. Go and download that from iTunes. And of course, my man Steel Fan. My man in Ireland via Los Angeles with the theme song to my show. And have a great weekend, everybody.
You got some big surprise. I think that I like this. Taking my time, you blind my eyes. I beg you for
yes, go have a great Friday. End on a happy note. Thank you, Dr. GTI. Oh, also shout out to Dr. GTI. Has been while Brian Joel was away, Dr. GTI was filling in the mantle, playing those records. Thank you for playing those records last night. I was vibing out to some James Brown. Thank you, Dr. GTI, and thank you guys for using that Discord. It's your Discord too, man. You know, we got the DJ booth set in there. If you want to play some music in the Discord. Dr. GTI says, see you riders in the Discord. We will see you there. Thank you again for playing those records, keeping us entertained, man. We appreciate it. Playing that vinyl, playing some beat cuts. And I'm on my way, way. Such a good song, man. I got so lucky. I got lucky, man. I'm lucky. What can I say? I got you guys. You know, I got the riders. We got this show. We got this community. I love you guys. Bottom of my heart. Love you guys so much. Hey, G Illuminati in the house. G Illuminati. Listen to some Dr. GTI jams. Some of that James Brown. I look good. I feel good. And make love good. All right, y'all. I am Westside, and this has been fun. I am out of